So we're continuing Meretz Hashem. Last Shir Maseches Berachos. We are continuing on Samach Daled Amud Aleph, about 12 lines up from the top. 12 lines up from the bottom. Rabbi Avin Halevi. Rabbi Avin Halevi said as follows: when one takes leave of his friend, Al Yomar Lo Lech Bishalom, person shouldn't say go in peace or go with peace. Ela Lech Lishalom, rather go to peace. Why the distinction over here? Shahari Yisro Sha'amar Lo Moshe Lech Lishalom Alav Etzliach. So Yisro says to Moshe, Lech Lishalom, go to peace, representing this idea that Moshe Rabbeinu, your destination, right, and the journey should be with peace, was successful. David Sha'amar Lo Avshalom Lech Bishalom, but David HaMelech, who said to Avshalom to go with peace, Halach v'nitla, ultimately again was killed. Vam Rabbi Avin Halevi, Hanifcha min ames. If one goes ahead and takes leave of the dead, meaning a person is at a levaya, they take leave of the dead. Al yomar lo lech lishalom. Person should not go ahead and say lech lishalom, ela lech bishalom, which makes sense because in other words it's the opposite. For the living, you should not tell someone lech bishalom. Right, go with peace, which has a connotation of death. Rather, lech lishalom, go to peace. That Meretz Hashem Yishav continued successes, continued journeys, continued destinations, and all of them should be b'shalom. While a person is dead, the proper way to take leave of them is to say lech lishalom. Don't say lech lishalom. Rather, say lech b'shalom. Shnei Emar. V'ata tavo al avosecha b'shalom. As the pasuk says, you will come to your forefathers. You will come to your forefathers by Avram Avinu. V'yata tavo al avosecha b'shalom. And now, of course, Chaburah was telling Avram Avinu about his death. So you see over here that death is referred to as b'shalom. Amr Rabbi Levi bar Chia hayotz mibeis hakneses v'nichnas lebeis hamedrash. So interesting idea over here. Person who leaves the beis hakneses. Now, understand from the Gemara's perspective, there were often two different spaces. There was a Beis HaKnesses, which was a place used for davening, and a Beis HaMedrash, which was a place used for learning. So a person who goes ahead and leaves the Beis HaKnesses, in other words, goes from davening and immediately goes to the Beis Medrash, Zocha Mekal Pnei HaShechina. Such a person ultimately, again, will be Zocha to receive the Shechina. Shnei Emar, Yelchu Meichayil El Chayil, Yera'el Elokim B'Tzion. So literally, again, go, Chayil in this case, we often think it means like accomplishment. But really what it means is, great numbers. Go from great numbers, multitudes to multitudes. So the idea over here is the chayil, the multitudes of the shul, the Beis HaKnesses, and then you go from the multitudes of the shul to the multitudes of the Beis Medrash. One will see the face of HaKadosh Baruch Hu in Sion. So that's really a beautiful idea of kind of creating like an ongoing linkage. What's the message over here? The message over here is that person should always be moving up the ladder of spiritual growth. So what do you do when you finish learning, or when you finish davening, finish in the Beis HaKnesses? You learn. You go to the Beis Medrash. And this idea that one should never content themselves with flatlining in their spirituality. Rather, life is all about going from success to success. Amar Rabbi Chibar Ashi Amarav. Tamid Chachamim is a beautiful Gemara. She'ein lahem menucha lo ba'olam hazeh v'lo ba'olam haba. So Torah scholars have no rest. They have no quietude in this world or the next. Shnei Emar Yelchu Meichayil Al Chayil Yera'el Elokim B'Tzion. So literally, again, they go from multitudes to multitudes, groups to groups. So the idea being, Talmidei Chachamim teach Talmidim in this world, and ultimately they have the ability somehow to even grow in the world to come. So I'll say, so this is actually, if you think about it, it's a really incredible Gemara. If you look at the Rashi says, Manucha mi yeshiva li yeshiva medrash la medrash. So Talmidei Chachamim is really incredible that apparently Talmidei Chachamim experience growth even in the world to come, which is interesting because generally we accept this notion that when a person dies, like that's the end of their spiritual journey. But you see from the Gemara that while that might be true for regular people, Talmidei Chachamim continue to grow even when they leave this world. And the truth is, it makes a lot of sense. If a person spends their life occupied with constant perpetual growth, it's almost as if that the reward for that is that Ribono Shel Olam allows you, to continue in that growth trajectory, even in the world to come, which is really such a beautiful idea. Essentially, if you maximize your growth opportunities in this world, the greatest reward for that is the ability to continue to grow in the next world. That normally death represents a cessation of dynamic growth and activity. But if you've used your life well for growth and activity here, right, then HaKadosh Baruch Hu will give you the opportunity for growth and dynamic activity in the world to come as well. It's amazing. It's amazing. So Talmidei Chachamim who spend their lives in dynamic growth and activity here in this world are Zocha Meretz Hashem to be able to continue to grow in the world to come. It's so beautiful. Amr Rabbi Lazar, Amr Chanina. Talmidei Bose is also beautiful, by the way, because this Gemara of Talmidei Chacham Eila Menucha is this week's parasha. I was always wondering, why has it taken us so long to finish up Maseches Berachos, right? The Amud Yomi program is long past Berachos. But, it's amazing how we're ending off this Masechta on the Sunday of Parshas Vayeshev. And what does the pasuk say? Vayeshev Yaakov Beretz Migurea Beretz Canaan. Yaakov settled in the land of Canaan. And Rashi says, what does it mean, Yeshev? Bikesh Yaakov Leshev B'Shalva. Yaakov wanted tranquility. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, there is no tranquility for the righteous. And amazingly enough, what does the Gemara say over here? The righteous don't know tranquility. They don't have menucha. Not in this world and not in the next. Why? Because the Talmid Chacham is always preoccupied with growth. And again, like we just said before, because he is preoccupied with growth in this world, he has the schus to continue to grow in the world to come as well. Pretty amazing. Amar Rabbi Chanina. Talmidei Chacham Mar Mishalom Ba'olam. That's a very beautiful end to the Masechta. Talmidei Chacham perpetuate peace in the world. Shene'emar V'chol banayich limudei Hashem v'rav shalom banayich. So literally translated, it means all of your sons will be students of Hashem, right? And literally there'll be great peace amongst your sons. Al tikri banayich ela bonayich. Don't read it as your sons, but rather, again, read it as bonayich. Bonayich means builders. Who are the builders? The builders are the Talmidei Chachamim. And therefore, again, the v'chol bonayich limudei Hashem, those who go ahead and are the students of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, they are the true builders of this world. Rav shalom banayich. And as a result of those children, as a result of those builders, there'll be more peace in the world. What does this mean? So remember, again, the more Torah there is in the world, the more peace there is in the world. At least that's the way it's supposed to happen when executed correctly. The more Torah there is in the world, the greater the tranquility, the greater the clarity, the greater the understanding, and therefore, by definition, the greater the shalom. Shalom Rav li ohavei sorasecha ve'ein lamai michshal. So the next pasuk says, literally again, great peace to those who love your Torah, and there'll be no obstacle for them. Now, interestingly enough, the Gemara just quotes a whole bunch of psukim now, and the theme of these psukim is all about the shalom, the sense of peace and tranquility that comes from Torah. So again, first one, there should be peace, shalom rav there'll be great peace for those who love your Torah, and there'll be no obstacles. There should be peace in your walls of Yerushalayim, and peace in your palaces. For the sake of my brothers, my friends, there'll be peace upon you. For the sake of Hashem, ultimately, again, I will request good for you. Now, the truth is, the subject of all these psukim is really Yerushalayim. Hashem owes the Amo Yitain. Hashem will give strength to His nation. Hashem yivarech es Amo v'shalom. HaKadosh Baruch Hu will go ahead and bless His holy nation with peace. And I will say it's so beautiful because sometimes, we toil a lot in Torah, and it's not always easy, and there could often be obstacles, and perhaps there might even be points where we wonder, what exactly is it that I'm doing? What is it that I'm accomplishing? And it's important to understand that when one learns Torah, one is fundamentally changing the universe. I'm infusing shalom. I'm infusing a sense of peace, a sense of tranquility, or I think better stated, I am helping to create and maintain a sense of universal equilibrium. Torah creates universal equilibrium, and those who learn it and those who live it ultimately have the ability to say proudly, I have a hand, I have a piece, I have a role, in maintaining universal equilibrium. That's what we do. That's the source that we have. And it's not just for the universe, it's for ourselves. You know that after you finish learning a piece of Gemara, how do you feel? Or any Torah, how do you feel? You feel at peace. There's a certain sense of shalom that comes about. That shalom, that inner equilibrium, that universal equilibrium is rooted in this incredible, beautiful, magnificent journey of Talmud Torah. Hadron Allah Haroah, L'Slik Allah Maseches Berachos, Rabosai, It has been a wonderful journey. I apologize that it has taken much longer than it had to, but I'm not going to lie, it's been a schus each and every day. A tremendous schus to finish this Masechta with all of you, and we shall all just, Emir Hashem, go on like the Gemara said, Mechayel El Chayel. Have a wonderful evening.